Some of you guessed salsa, but none of you guessed Chile Verde con Cerdo. First, you're going to start by trimming the fat and setting the fat aside. Then, you're going to cut up your pork into 1-inch pieces. Now, take that trim fat and drop it into a cold pan, add a cup of cold water, crank the heat to medium-high, and just let it do its thing. Let's move on to seasoning your pork. I'm starting with pink Himalayan salt. Don't forget the fresh ground black pepper. You'll also need cayenne pepper, garlic powder, ground coriander, and my favorite seasoning for the season, Ajika Georgian Season Blend by Trader Joe's. Now, I didn't think that this recipe had enough seasoning, so my ancestors said, hey, use some Blue Mountain Country Adobo all-purpose seasoning, and you season until your ancestors tell you to stop. And in my case, my ancestors told me to add a little bit more. Now massage the seasoning in. Let's move on to the poblano peppers and the jalapeno peppers. You got to cut them in half and remove the seeds and membrane. Now, if you don't mind a little heat, leave all that in there. Next up, aromatics. Let's start with the onion. Then we have some garlic. Use a little, or for that garlicky goodness flavor, use as much as you like. Peeling the thin layer off of a tomatillo is quite relaxing. This right here is giving me ASMR vibes. Give the tomatillos a good rinse to remove the sticky substance. Take all of your green veggies, aromatics, and tomatillos and place them on a roasting sheet. An oven-proof pan will also work, but make sure it can withstand high heat because you're going to broil this beautiful green collage of veggies. Before you put them under the broiler, drizzle with some olive oil, sprinkle with some salt and pepper, and toss. And then place them on the middle rack under the broiler for about 6 to 10 minutes or until the veggies have a nice char. Remember that trim pork fat from earlier? Well, here it is. It makes the perfect snack. And I'll use the oil from the rendered fat for the next step, browning the seasoned pork. The roasted veggies are ready, and you could tell by that black char. That's what we're looking for. Now drop them in a blender or a food processor and hit the pulse button 3 or 4 times. You want a rough chop. Repeat the process with the tomatillos. Give your brown pork a stir and add the pulse veggies and tomatillos to the pot. To build on flavor, add bay leaves, pimento seeds, and any herbs you have on hand. And there's no need to add any water because the pork will release its own juices. Cover and place in a preheated 425-degree oven for about 30 to 45 minutes. Check for doneness. This right here is perfect. I whipped up a cool topping, I heated up some tortilla, and serve.